if we do not know our Ishta Devata, how do we find out who our Ishta Devata is? Is it simply who we connect with, or is it?
No, initially you just formal way of finding the Ishta Devata is the job of the Guru to tell you which deity to worship. And you realize your Ishta Devata only when you have a certain category of experience, not just any experience. Certain category of experience when it comes to an individual, only then he realizes that this specific deity is my Ishta Devata. And then there is a third way, which means if you have with the horoscopic combination of an individual, you can get some glimpse of what nature of deity is best suited for this individual. But I suppose on a practical basis, you initially start with worshipping the deity that you like best. Ishta Devata, you will get to know eventually either your Guru reveals to you or you yourself progress to a situation where you have a certain class of experience, a kind of category of experience. It's not normal experience.
Experience or just a tendency. For example, I do have a Guru, but not a it's not an initiation from like a Guru to Shishya in the classical sense of how you may have. For example, Sadguru Jagi Vasudev is my Guru, but there the initiation form is very, very different. It's in Shambhavi Mahamudra and given to 1,000 people together. And of course, for me, it has changed me over the last 12, 13 years of my daily meditation, daily Kriya practice. However, it is not like a mantra initiation and general there was a proclivity towards Shiva, for example, and there is a very heavy leaning and orientation in the Isha Foundation towards Shiva. Worship. So that naturally sort of attracted me towards. So could I actually say that Shiva is my Ishta Devata, or is there a different classification of Ishta Devatas?
No, you can say that Shiva is your Ishta Devata. You like Shiva, that is fine. But what I am talking about when I say an experience, that is a different thing. Where the deity appears to you and connects to your soul. Let's put it this way. And that connection is like a stamp on you. And you will never forget in 1,000 lifetimes. That is a specific category of experience. But that is high up. That is not going to happen easily on day one. It is best, in my opinion, in fact, there is no harm in, there's a specific deity you like. You have a tendency for it, you have a liking for it, you want to do Upasana, that's good enough to start. Do not be fixated with, I have to find who is my exact Ishta Devata, tabhi main jaake sadhana karunga. Better than that, start with something. Eventually, the path will reveal to you.
What is the legacy of Tantric Buddhism and the development of Tantric Shaktism in Bengal? Did it influence Vaishnavism as well through Sahajya? Perhaps a related question or a nuance that I had was also that did Tantra travel from India to Tibet and thereby later to got attached to Buddhism, or how is the connection? There is also a question here which also reminds me of another tweet I'd read somewhere of Jagannath Puri being connected with the Tantra traditions. Could you explain all of this?
So these are separate questions, in my opinion, the way I look at it. Okay. So first of all, there is definitely some. So scholars have their own opinion. There are some scholars who believe that many of the tantric practices we do today, some of them at least, have been taken from the Tibetan Buddhists. But I believe that the majority of them is the reverse, the other way around, which is, for example, the Shaiva Tantras, which was there in Kashmir. Many of those texts, to the extent even some modern scholars believe that not just the text, even the initiation process, etc., was exactly lifted verse by verse, and the deity was changed and then applied to their systems. So, in a way, Hindu Tantra is older than Buddhist Tantra, is what I firmly believe. Has there been an overlap between the two and some influence and counter-influence? Perhaps. There are two gray areas because there are conflicting views on this. One is specifically with respect to the worship of the deity who is known as Ugratara, who is the second of the Mahavidyas, who was at one point and still is highly popular in Bengal. And she's a fully tantric deity. And Tara is